G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza and this is a bit of a different kind of video and it's based around a question I actually get asked quite a lot, and that is, what do I draw when I don't know what to draw? Now that question can come in other forms like, what do I draw when I don't feel like drawing? What do I do if I have creative block? How do I get a start in the industry if I want to be a blank, where blank could be game animator or graphic designer and so on and so forth? The essence of all these questions is pretty much the same, and that is the essence of searching for something specific, but lacking the confidence or the motivation to simply start. Now the short answer to all of these questions is frustratingly simple, and it's just that, to simply start. You want to be a fashion designer? Go design fashion. You want to be an animator? Go animate. You want to be a storyboard artist? Go board some stories. But notice that I haven't used the qualifier good. I haven't said go make good animations, go design good fashion, go board good stories. That's because what you need to get started isn't the skill. It's the hunger for the skill. To gain the skill you need to be professional or exceptional in anything requires a huge amount of time and effort. But to gain the hunger that you need to carry you on the journey to gaining that skill, you need simply start. Now that's all well and good for me to say, but I'm quite sure there will be people watching this video that will be saying to themselves, thanks Jazza for the advice, but really, how do I start? Now I know I haven't given any practical tools or advice or exercises yet on how to simply start, and I will go through some exercises later in this video, but I just want to first basically cover that feeling, because it's the feeling. If you can identify what it is that's stopping you, then you're going to be halfway there already, because you'll be able to know how to put it aside and simply start. Now, anyone who identifies as an artist will have had that ever frustrating experience of staring at a blank piece of paper. Why is it that a blank piece of paper can be so scary at times? The answer is expectations. Because you want so bad to be an exceptional artist that when you stare at a blank piece of paper, you demand of yourself to fill it with something that outdoes every artwork you've done before. Or that you demand of yourself that you fill that paper with an artwork that feels as fluid and beautiful to you as the artwork of the artists you so greatly admire. But then you find the doubt creeps in and you find you're just too scared to start. And this scenario doesn't specifically only and exclusively apply to a blank piece of paper. It applies to a career as well. You want so bad to be a blank that you don't know where to start because all you know is that you're not there yet, and the barrier of entry in your head feels huge, when in reality, all you have to do is start. The truth is, the really exceptional artists out there that you and others really admire didn't get to where they are and have the acclamation that they have gained because they have 36 pieces of paper with amazing pieces of artwork on them. They got to where they are because of the thousands upon thousands of pieces of paper that they filled with mistakes, with ideas that they tried and failed, and potentially even scrunched up and threw in the bin. It's not the few pieces or artworks of theirs that you have seen that makes them exceptional and talented, it's the thousands that you haven't. Creativity does not equate to the ability to fill a piece of paper with something magnificent. Creativity is born when that blank piece of paper is turned into anything other than a blank piece of paper. It doesn't even have to be pretty. Okay, so talking more practically, I'm going to go through 3 exercises to help you unleash creative energy in yourself and to actually just get started. And with any luck, hopefully using these helps you break past the blank piece of paper and break into a really creative, free-flowing mindset. Exercise 1. Draw something mundane. That sounds really dumb, but seriously, like if you're looking at a blank piece of paper, stop looking at the piece of paper and look around you. Scissors. Draw them. Stupid? Yes, I know. It doesn't seem inspiring. It's not lifting you into the area of art in your head that you wanted to draw, unless of course you want to draw scissors for a living. I'm not sure that's entirely possible. I'm sure someone does it. But that's the point. Look around, find a stapler. keys. It could be food, it could be a lamp, it doesn't matter. But the reason that drawing something completely mundane that you would never actually want to draw is a useful idea is that it puts your pen or pencil on the paper and gets you moving. And it means that once you break past the paper, you actually will find, interestingly enough, you will slowly engross yourself into drawing something as mundane as some scissors, stapler keys, or whatever else. That's because you give yourself something to focus on, and then in the process of drawing something even mundane, you will find yourself setting some goals and ideas. How can I gather in the details or soak in the light and shade? And yes, you will make mistakes and it may look terrible, but you've tried. And that's the first step. The paper has broken from being blank into being something, and you are being creative. Exercise 2. Draw randomness. Now this one is one of my personal favorites, and anyone who watches my character design sessions will know that you can produce some really fun and interesting results. And the reason it's so fun is because you end up drawing stuff you never would have expected to draw, and you can very easily find yourself getting very engrossed in it. Now I like to do it with people and polls, so of course I get people's ideas, put them on a poll on the internet, and people vote on it, and the most voted on one usually gets mashed with something else. They're things I would never have thought of to draw, and they end up being really fun to draw. But you can do this sort of thing by yourself. Now I admit, a huge nerd who plays games like tabletop role-playing games similar to Dungeons and Dragons, and anyone familiar with those games will be familiar with a little object known as the D20, or a 20-sided dice. Now the reason I bring this up is something like that, even a 6-sided dice, can be really useful in this random drawing exercise. Take a piece of paper and write the numbers 1 to 6 or 1 to 20 or whatever the dice you have on you is, and with each of those numbers write down a character type or a trait, an object. Now elsewhere on the piece of paper, or on another piece of paper, make another list with the same amount of numbers but with something else, a qualifier or something different that will tweak or transform something from the first list. Roll the dice twice, see what numbers you get. It might be 4 and 12, and you might get post-apocalyptic Nazi gummy bear. Whatever. Also try and make sure that in the list are things that you wouldn't necessarily want to draw or put down yourself, because you will find combinations that are actually really interesting, and you will make a few little rolls or make some random little combinations that all of a sudden you want to draw and will spark your creativity, and you'll be drawing on the piece of paper before you give yourself time to doubt yourself, because you want to see what it looks like and you want to create something. Exercise 3, draw repetitively. Similar to exercise 1, this is something you might not necessarily think you'll enjoy doing at first, and you may not enjoy it at first, but it will loosen you up and relax you. And one of the best ways I find to use this exercise is to take a photo that you are then going to replicate on a piece of paper. Give yourself 10 minutes to completely replicate this image. It can actually help for it to be an image that you wouldn't necessarily normally draw. So I, for example, am very character driven. I like drawing people. But if I was to do this exercise, I would do a landscape or a building or something a bit removed from what my inclinations would be. Within the space of 10 minutes, give yourself all that time to draw it as accurately as possible. When the timer hits 10, stop, grab a new piece of paper, start again, and give yourself 5 minutes. When the timer runs out from 5 minutes, stop without even glancing at how it ended up looking. Grab a new piece of paper, bring it over, give yourself 3 minutes. Timer runs out, stop, new piece of paper, 2 minutes. Timer runs out, stop, new piece of paper, 1 minute. And you will find at the end of doing this 4 or 5 times, you'll be really relaxed and loose. You'll be immediately spotting the main geometric parts or light and shade aspects that you're going to bring out first, because you have an economy of time that you're using. Your hand will become looser, your mind will start to relax and stop judging yourself. Now you can take these 3 exercises, do them in any order, do one of them many times, whichever you want to do, but the point of them is not to produce your pièce de résistance. I think that's how you say it. That's my terrible impression of French. The point of the exercises is to break the blank paper barrier, because once you break it, and if you break it aggressively and judgment-free enough, you can remind yourself what it feels like to draw without judgment, to create without criticism, and to learn without leaving? No, learn without getting a hernia, learn without burning out. I'll have to think of another clever alliteration at another point, but my point is the same. If you're one of those people that asks yourself or someone else the question, what do I draw when I don't know what to draw, or how do I get started? Hopefully these exercises and the advice in this video will help you break past that barrier on your own to allow you to unleash your creativity and stop judging yourself and enjoy the process of creating art. If you found this video helpful, but you still need a little bit more of a pick-me-up, I recommend you check out my playlist, Motivation, Inspiration, and Advice, which is full of videos which talk specifically about getting past barriers and progressing, but dealing with some of the things that artists deal with quite a lot. There are lots of tutorials on the internet on how to draw an eye or how to draw anatomy, but there's not a lot out there that deals with the emotional aspect of being an artist, and artists are emotional. Art is an emotional thing, and it's a very personal thing. So it's definitely important to acknowledge some of these aspects and to see what we can do to improve ourselves and make that process more healthy and judgment-free and enjoyable so that we can continue to develop and make the world a better place with creativity and art. If you enjoyed this video and you want to check out more on that playlist, I specifically would recommend the video How to Practice Improving Your Skills the Smart Way. There's also Not Good Enough, An Artist's Perspective. How to Overcome Demoralization, An Artist's Perspective. And How to Overcome Creative Block, A Different Perspective. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I do get this question a lot, and when I hear that question, I don't see the problem that they think they're looking at, which is a blank piece of paper. I see someone who's doubting themselves, who needs the confidence to move forward. And I really hope that this video has given you a little bit of that confidence and given you a little bit of a different perspective and a way to push yourself past the blank paper barrier. That'll do for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best with your art and your creative journey, and until next time, I'll see you later.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel to see new content every week. Check out more of my stuff by clicking the annotations over there. If you want to support my work and get a few goodies for yourself, head over to my store for archives, ebooks, and get yourself something nice. That's it for now, and until next time, see you later.